Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to be with us here for this conversation. This morning, Lerla and Daniel Tema, although he is not here yet. And when I talked to him earlier this week, the plan was for him to be here. So we'll see how that timing works for him. But hopefully both of them are here and able to share. But basically, as a little bit of background, because of today's sermon theme, we had talked about trying to have a conversation about what it means to be home and what that might mean for different people in different life circumstances. Some people maybe have had experiences moving different times throughout their lives. For some people, that has been from different cultural experiences. It could be from different towns or different cities. But we've all had different experiences with that. And so I reached out to Lerla and Daniel to just share a little bit about their own story, what their own personal experience has been, to just kind of share their story with us this morning. And if Daniel's not here, then we'll spend some time. Perhaps there are others who have their own piece to share about what it means to be home and what that story looks like. So this is going to be an opportunity for Lerla to share, but then we'll be able to have some more conversational sharing as we go throughout the morning. So Lerla, without further ado, if you would like to come up and just share a little bit about yourself and your story, that would be great. Thanks.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. I'm so happy to share my story with you guys here. I know some of you, I can remember them like 10 years ago. I shared my story one time being in Sunday school class with a big giant TV there, and then with a videotape. Yes, I'm glad to be here this morning. I originally live from Burma, but I born in Thailand refugee camp. As a refugee, even you born in the Thailand, they don't consider you as a Thai citizenship. So, like our ethnic group called Karen, spell like Karen. So, because of the between the Burmese government and our ethnic group is a war since World War II to still in this day. So that's when my parents are fleeing, and then they had to stay in the refugee camp. That's when I born. But the camp was burned down in 1994. I was so little at that time. Yes, I born in 88. Anyhow, I did remember that going to kindergarten. My kindergarten, I was 5, but it's because of war again. I never graduated kindergarten. Another year, another war, another kindergarten. So, and later that when the first camp was burned down, as a boy, we all betrayed that we all in the school, they all trade us that, anything you hear the gunshot, just run straight home to your parent. So we did, but we run home, the parent is not there, so he ran his feather to the jungle. So, however, after they burned down the whole camp, my parent moved to the different camp, which is, we stayed there not that long, just a couple months, and then it got attacked again. The Burmese military. So they decided to move to the bigger camp right now. It's called Lerla camp. It's the biggest camp ever. When we went there, it's just not many houses. It's just like some houses. And then my parents decided, for me, is if I want to study in here, I'm never going to be graduate kindergarten. So they decided to send me to Burma. which is when my dad was working with a Korean rebel group, and he's he knew somebody that the church people, like Anglican church in Burma, and he knew somebody that he had been helping before. That's when he tagged me with 20,000 jat. It's worth like $2 now, but and I had to stay there the whole life, I guess. So they just said, but I did walk to that city. We had to walk like 2 days. Start in the morning, take a break, and walk because we don't have traffic. So and I graduate in Palm City. Not graduate, I stayed there and started kindergarten. I was 7 that time. So and started kindergarten, and it was so hard because all the military family and regular people is different. They treat you different. I have been beat up all the time in the kindergarten, but all one of my friends told me is be patient, just cry. So so and all this happening, and I do a lot of stuff that helping people when I was young, little boys, because my parents are not with me. And I just want to go back before my dad told me, don't come back till you speak Burmese. So there's you need to know their language, because if you don't know their language, you're never going to be survive. So anyhow, when I go back, just like go back, and I had to change all my name. And because of my dad again, if I don't change my name, they would just kill me right away. And because they don't like, be part of the rebel family, they don't like it. So and I did volunteer, do a lot of work, cutting grass, because I don't have money. I don't have communication with my parents. All we can communicate is writing the letter. You don't want to do that either. They find out who is taking that letter, and then whatever you're writing, it's just going to be really tough. So I lost communication, but I do anything I could to go to school. I take care of we had a dormitory that they raise a pig and chicken. So every year, when the church had a celebration, we just, slaughter the pig, and you know what I mean, just make it curry. So, however, and I don't know how I survived, but just like going to church and being volunteer, and the church people helping me out. And every year one of the pastors really like me to stay there, because I don't have any helper, not relative around. But I do have a relative that live about 1 hour, not 1 hour, 1 day to walk. And the thing I'm getting a little bit improving when my 14 years old age. So I get a chance to visit my aunt and my family. It's what most fun I ever have in the summertime. And I visited their village, and then they said that, wow, this guy show up again, they're gonna show up again. So it was so happy, I miss my childhood in Burma. Yeah, compared to the home in the camp, and the home in Burma is a little bit different, because I just realized that in the camp is I don't have a chance to go to school. In the Burma is I do have a chance to go to school, but I gotta be patient. So I gotta be anything that they will do to you, just like let it happen, So and when I my 15-year age in Burma, I get a chance to visit my parents first time. So come back to the camp that we found. It's no home before. It's just like you had to call each other with a walkie-talkie. But I came back and it looked, I could not recognize it. It's like a 10,000 houses. So, it's a lot. It's just farmland, and before was it just like it's nothing around it. But that came in, Mela came is getting bigger. Yeah, and then that's my first time visiting. Later that my dad like my sister to join with me in Burma too. So we go back and then they totally find me out that they found out in 2006. So they found out that who we are because that church accept a lot of people from the village. They don't know how they just want the people to go to school and study in Burma, but they don't need anything. But the military look at it different way, and then they cut out all the communication lines. Their computer is been this way, and then later that even the bishop at the community and the city there got arrested and because visiting people from they don't want you to visit the camp and then go back and then they think that for them it's just going to be like you're going to destroy them. However, and I did come back because my parents being the Buddhist background. So when you get to the youth age, I mean 18 years old, to honor your parents, you had to be a monk. So I did. I became a Buddhist monk, and right before right about when I'm going to come to the United States in 2007, I did it 3 weeks because you can do it in many weeks you want. You can stay the whole life you want it. But I find myself because I grew up in a Christianity, I just do it to honor my parents. But in the Buddhist is I learned that, practicing peace. All I do, I don't know how to pray in their Buddhist prayer, but I do know how to pray in the Christian. So it's just like the Lord prayer that I always carry the whole time. So, and I did apply in United States as a United Nation that opened up the door for us to come to United States, or you can choose any country you want. Like you can go to Europe, you can go to England, you can go to Norway, Sweden, you can go to the Australia, but the United States is a lot easier because they, most countries they want you like more education, more educated, than like a lot of things. So guess what? And when they ask around the family who's going to fly over that tiny jet in the sky, so and nobody want to come in my family. They just like so afraid. They go to look at the sky, and it's I said I'm gonna go first. So I'm gonna go first. So and we did. I did. On my trip here, I don't know any English. So I have one dictionary in Burmese, and because our Korean language doesn't have, we do have a dialogue, we do have a reading, but we don't have a computer system that going to print out the dictionary. So that's why I carry the Burmese dictionary because I can speak both language, Burmese and Korean. But in Burma is a lot of like ethnic people in Burma that we communicate each other with the Burmese. So however, I came and landed to JFK. That we have a people that serve like a show up where to go. And I'm the whole time on the flight there, I always awake. I never like sleep. I was afraid that I'm gonna miss a plane or I'm gonna miss that. Come with a couple group of people that we don't know, and just like no sleep for 2 days. In Tokyo, I afraid to ask for the food, but in this day or every time, if I go to China, get a roast chicken. That's remind me of all my trip in United States. Because they served me in a hotel. That whole chicken, I ate it all. So it's never enough, and then it's just like so hungry for 2 days. So and however, yeah, and then we have a room in a hotel. I go because I don't know the language, I don't remember, but I had to stay with the other ethnic group. I learned that they're from northern Burma. It's Kachin group. So I stay with him, and then he wanted to borrow my dictionary. So the next day the dictionary is gone. all I have all I have is a bag and a piece of IOM bag that say that where my direction is. And then also in the bag it has a paper that please help me. So in the morning we're about to leave. I don't have my dictionary, and then with that bag, and I had to came to Pennsylvania, which is land in Middletown, Harrisburg Airport. My sponsor, which is kind of like my American dad, Ken Chastain. To honor him, by the way, I took his name, his last name Chastain. So, and he and my other cousin, like a close cousin, we call each other cousin, also, they supposed to pick me up, and then they thought where I might be missed a plane or something. They could not find me because I came in the plane to JFK to the Middletown. It's just pilots, one other lady who served, and just me on the front, probably a private jet. So we landed in the ground. We had to get up on the ground. No terminal to go. I don't know where to go. So I keep follow that lady. Just keep follow her and then get up on the ladder. Just keep follow her. She just like, no, you can't. This is like a private pilot room or whatever. You can come here. You need to go. So I'm like, with that bag, I don't know where to exit. I don't know how to re-exit. So, and then being in Burma with the police that not like America. So the police, most of the police people bribe them with the money, and then they would let you go, thing like that. And then look at that huge policeman and like a security guard or whatever it is. Like, I don't want to go ask the question. So I keep spinning around in that terminal and then just like try to find my way out. And then according to the Ken and Carlos, so they were about to leave. And that's why I just remember in the Lord prayer. Just like I want to see people. I want to be there. So please help me out. And I remember that piece of paper in my bag that please help me. So I pull it up. I keep going around with my bag and my little bag, and it just like no money, nothing. You know what I mean? $0. But however, yeah, that security guard come to me and then grab me and show me the way out, and we finally meet. And I was really sick. I don't eat, and that's the only time I eat that chicken. So, so we got to the destination. We got to the Paramet at West High Street. Brandon Balance, we rented from her. I think right there, that's what we stay in. I know George lately, helping with the current stuff and learning how to say hammer. And for keep learning all that stuff. And yeah, I really like first couple of days it just so like a sick, you know, doesn't right. My brain doesn't work right. Like I'm not awake yet. So sleep time, the timing over there and here is different. And however, I did starting go to, in school here, but my 19 years of age that, I go to school and I did not, we went to the ESL program. We also go to the another people that Pierre Ogilvy. He's run the chapel at the pastory right now. And then he and his wife had a lot of international students in their house, invited us, and then drive us everywhere. We always hang out. We want to just like hang out every like a weekend, Friday night. Sometimes we just left over their house and eat there, and then come back, like Saturday, And it is a lot of fun. I remember like Mustang passed away, but we did went to the Roots Market and then drive on how to say this is corn. This is post, light post. I don't know. I said like pole. Everything is just long and I just say pole. So like pole. Okay. Yeah. And then we did go, learn how to do shopping, go first time being a Giants, just like different than, whatever market that we have over in the camp or in the Burma, you know what I mean? It's just like so different. So I feel like so like welcoming. My dream is not like that before I came to the United States. My dream just like in a Bangkok, you're going to stay with somebody, you're going to wash their car and it's clean their house. But in America here is, they don't do like that. The boss had to work more. Over there is the boss doesn't work. So in here the boss had to work more than you guys, And I got we did when my high school years and then we finally meet John Mess. John Mess is a great man that showed me how to make money. I would say that. We remember go out around people's houses, sweeping the leaf. I remember that, and now we did some work, pull out the carpet one time, and then kind of like on a high street, like near the whatever Lanco Tactical is building. That's the first job that I did with them, and I remember that, and then kind of like thinking that okay, this is job everywhere. I focus this one. I can go and ask somebody if I sweep up your your lead and how much will be, and I can in my mind is and what about cleaning your yard and thing like that. So and John is a great guy, but later that I went to the VOTAC, and then my VOTAC year I did paint. My first painting job is for John. Yeah, he gave me my first car, Nissan Altima, Maxima, Nissan Altima. So yeah, I love that car. That car drove me like a sea lion friend helping. With that car is I help a lot of people drive into. I did. I mean, like most people in Litis. Any refugee came in and then I helped them driving with that car, and I did travel to New York, and that car is served me really well. I don't want to get rid of it by the time that it's just like time to go, I guess. So yeah, and and that's why on my CTC school years, and then my second car is I got for Charlie. David Bainbridge was the last name. Yeah, yeah, it's a Toyota Corolla station wagon. It's been serving good, but I should, because all I like to do is help in next people that, how I've been through, I want to help them. I want to help the family, know how to drive. However, one other girl driving and then shit around here and then the gear buggy just kind of got blew up and way everywhere. So I love that car, but me is almost a vehicle. And then I know George Staley helped me with a lot of brake line. We did a brake line walk. I remember that. I won one time in 283 exit going to the Home Depot and then no brake. So just put it emergency brake and then call George. What is a deal? Yeah, I don't have brake, but I learned a lot of brake work from him. So I remember that. However, yeah, I did. I still like my high school year. I still don't know much English, so still learning. And then later that they asked me, "What do you want to be?" I have a chance to go to VOTAC. What do you want to do? I said I want to be mechanic. So, and then they test me all that paper. I can't read it. So, however, they said no, you can't do mechanic because your English is not perfect. So they kind of like take a tour again. I want to do I do a lot of video document stuff before I have done back in Burma. I remember I do some video for the church and anything that they had an event, they asked me to do a video because I don't own a camera because I love whoever owned the, big video camera that you put on your shoulder, and I love those stuff. So I love to play with it. I remember that. So I go to take a videography class so that I can make something, but still like my English is so low that time. And then they said, no, you can't do that. Just we're going to give you another tour. So we walk around and then the painting class, painting and flooring. So Mr. Sam Bencourt, he's from Puerto Rico, I think. He's big, giant guy. He said, come on, my friend, I'm going to be your friend. I know you don't speak English, but I'm going to be your friend. And then he just so welcoming me and I feel like, okay, this is what it is. So I'm going to take it. So I did take it and I studied painting and I also work on a side job, trying to help some people that need painting, just a little bit side money, I call it, so that the more I did it, I think like the better I get it. And I graduate in a painting class. So, they told me that I could go to the SCAE USA, like, when you graduate, they want to test you that, with the state. I did not win that program because my English is very low, but my other brother, my younger brother does. He's he win the state champion as a painter. But all I do win is a president award, like President Barack Obama at that time. So he signed it with my certificate that I got his award as a painting program. Yeah, and after I graduate, I want to take cherry a little bit. Still, I cannot figure it out. My English is a problem. So picking cherry at Masonic Village a little bit and then, learn the thing and then decided, Ken and Carol decided they want me to go to the hack. But with that ESL program, no way that I can learn. It's so hard for me, but I dropped myself off, and later that I said my parents like to join me in the United States, so I cannot, you know. Oh, they keep calling me like all they think is money. When you gonna send me money? The culture is different, you know what I mean? To grow up because our parent is raised up to be a, to be a human being to be a good life. And then when they get older, because in there they don't have patient, they don't have nothing. My dad is the whole life he volunteered in the rebel group, no pay, not getting all he getting is the food from the people that he's having served. Nothing else. So that's why they don't have a good retirement plan like here. All we have to do is when we get older, we have to take care of it. So that's why they join me here. So anyway, uh, I want to hack, and then I had to go to the ESF program. So 028, 029, and then 101. 101 is the last program then for ESL. So I dropped it off. I don't want to go. First of all, I thought, oh, I like to take I want to be a police officer, but I can't, so too low. And then later that I just keep thinking, and then I volunteer painting the church one time. Al Sonnenberger looked at me like, but probably Curry still like, this guy doesn't know English. I gave him a lot of trouble when we were working because he say something, I don't even know the countertop that time. He said something like put it in the countertop and I put it in the drawer. So when we had the outlet plates, and then he's looking for everywhere like a thief, open up somebody's cabinet, and then however, yeah, I did started work for Kurt in 2009, and when I graduated, and then that's years I have a chance to go to the National Youth Conference. So I so enjoyed it, go around and met more people, remember what's the name again? Diana. I remember Carrie, you fell. But Taylor is really a great friend with me, and we did a lot of, we talk a lot, and we I enjoy learning culture and English from her a lot, yeah. So, and I continue working with Kurt, I worked for him 12 years at the Sollenberger painting. We paint mostly Amazonian village. And then later that I decided I want to go out on my own. So I decided I want to go out on my own. So that's why I just started in 2019 and right around May. But I did start it before like a side job here and there. I want to be a business, a painting guy. After I go out on my own, I realize that this is a lot of challenges. This is too much. So sometimes the job is feel really full, but I enjoy doing it, painting. I just had to figure out who am I going to hire in the future yet. Right now I'm in the United States, so like I have, I've been married, and have 3 children. They are my world to me, I just like a dad, hobby dad. I do a lot of hobby stuff, buy and sell all the time, most time. So yeah. So I bought a home, which is like any other American, I guess, with a big dad in America. And then later, I find out that I need more storage. So I need more room. Again, I guess America thing, more room, right? Where to put this stuff? So, however, I learned one of my friends had like a 12 storage. rented 12 stories. He pay like a 250 every month. So that's a lot of money for 12 stories. I don't know what he store there, but however, I looking to get a shop in the future, but yeah. And I'm happy to be here. I call it this is home. This is home because they don't recognize me in Thailand. Even I born in Thailand, they don't recognize me as a Thai citizen, and then they don't recognize me as a Burmese citizen. Even I'm a tribe in Burma. So this is my first home. This is America. This is this is my first town, and I feel like I'm born here. I'm born in Elizabeth town, and then I will never move. So this is like church here. So yeah. Thanks for everyone welcoming me and being part of like a family here. Yeah, this is my conclusion. This is home.
I think we'll give Daniel a chance to talk
Yeah.
at the end if you have questions. But Daniel, thank you. So Daniel Tema is just going to share a little bit about his story and his journey and how he is here today. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone.
Well,
My family and I moved here. It's been a great journey. I just graduated from college too, last month. You guys have any questions?
Daniel, can you share a little bit about where you came from, who you came with to the States, and just a little bit about what your experience was there and your journey to get here?
All right, yeah. So, well, I came here with one of my brothers and sisters, and we still have some. So, I mean, back there,
Yeah, how old were you when you left?
I was 13. Yeah, we 2016. The process.
Yeah, excuse me, can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, yeah.
Just yell. There.
Yeah. So we took us a while. Like we got to Zimbabwe in 2010. Like took us 6 years of wait, but my brother and his wife had already been here for years for us. That's a while. Yeah, it was.
Okay, so you left in 2016 and arrived here that I guess early in that year in 2016 in June. Okay. And what was one of the most challenging things for that was different about getting acclimated here to the States? That I don't know, what was something that was hard for you to kind of I don't know, adjust to?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing was the food.
Yeah.
Because I remember I got sick. I went like 3 months without eating. I was getting sick. I'm sorry, like getting dehydrated because I was in it took me a while to get my first food that I liked was that was the first one that I liked. Then I just ordered chicken nuggets. But that was me. But everybody was welcome. Church, everything else. Appreciate you.
We went to NYC in 2018. Was that a fun trip for you, getting to go out to Colorado?
Yeah, oh yeah, that was all the junior high and senior high trips were always.
Yeah.
I wish I could go last year.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what you just graduated, what school you were just in, and what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I went to Diocese years. I did cartoon technology. Yeah, that's what well, right now I'm working in a computer. Well, but at a concrete company, but I'm still like so like on the weekend, I do my own kind of side jobs. I go around as, like in carpentry stuff in the house. Right now, after this, I'm going right to other jobs. Yeah. I got a job here in E-Town, and I got another one in Millersville, so, keeping myself busy a little bit.
Where are you living now?
I just moved in with two of my friends.
Okay.
Down in Lancaster by Conestable Valley.
Yeah, so we have approximately 15 minutes. And I'd be interested to open this up if individuals have specific questions, either generally for both Lerla and Daniel or specifically for either one of them. So if anyone has any questions. Naomi.
Can I selfishly go first because I'm going to have to step out, but it might inform my sermon. So, the reason that we were asking you to be here today was what I'm going to be talking about in worship is thinking about the welcoming the stranger, and then what that means for persons who move to a new place, whether that's physically or emotionally, and then what does home mean? So I'm curious, Daniel, and Lerla, I heard you talk a little bit about it at the end. When you think of home, that idea of home, like what do you think of? Where is home for you?
I mean, personally, for me, I think here is home. I kind of came here as a kid, so I don't really remember much of back in that. So yeah, for me, here is.
Are you on a path to citizenship, Daniel?
Yeah. Well, I gotta start taking classes right now, so like prepare myself for it.
How difficult is that?
Well, everybody keeps saying that American actually.
They would fail, yeah. Because I've seen some of the questions and they're not easy.
Yeah, they're not easy at all. But yeah, just gotta study, practice.
Is there financial involvement in that too?
Yeah, it's like $700.
It's getting more expensive. Some of them is $1,000. Last year they did like $1,000. So my wife had to take it twice because you had to pay. They give you one test for 2 chances. If you don't pass in the second time, you had to reapply again for another $800. So I did pay for her twice. Yeah, and all they asking is an English question. She will know what she's reading, but the knowledge, like they will ask you how to write down these and how to spell it. It's hard for you to do that. So.
I remember watching you play soccer years ago, and you were quite skilled and seemed to enjoy it very much. Do you have an opportunity to play soccer these days?
Well, yeah, I actually played for these guys down in, I don't know if you guys know where Oxford is. Yeah, but they pay me a little bit of money. We played for them, yeah. Just a little bit, not.
You're not pro yet. What is your status with them in this citizenship journey? What I guess label applied to someone in your situation? A green card, or that's what I don't understand.
Right now,
with it.
yeah, right now I still have my green card.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to expire in 2 years, so I gotta get my citizenship as soon as possible.
You can't reapply to get another
Green card.
Green card.
I think
don't
you
know.
can. I think you can, but they take a long time.
During the COVID,
Oh, yeah.
my brother-in-law is just like expired like 3 years ago, but we do already apply, and then he can't get another job. He work at the hatchery, and then he can go get another job because they need a green card, and because they do send a letter, but it's just not. It's really hard.
English was always your language. You didn't have to relearn it.
Well, I learned English back then.
Yeah,
but
okay,
English is like my third language.
okay.
What other language do you speak?
I speak 5 different languages: Swahili, French, Lingala, and Shona, well, and English.
Very impressive.
I mean, yeah, most of them, because back in the Congo, you had to learn French in school, but we spoke Swahili at home. And then in Zimbabwe, it was Shona at home, but then English at school. But then I had friends who spoke Lingala, so I just hung out with them. And actually, one my roommates are actually, they only speak Lingala. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Interesting.
No English?
What?
They don't
Well, they
speak,
speak English and French.
It's interesting. I remember having a conversation with my wife who teaches English language learner. And back in the day when we first met, I remember thinking like, oh, you're an ESL teacher. English is a second language. And you explained to me that so many students speak more than, it's not a second language, it's like a third or fourth or fifth language. And I appreciated that distinction.
So your contact, both of you, contact with your families back in your previous country? Your
Yeah,
parents?
I still talk to one of my sisters,
Okay,
but
parents?
no parents.
parents are here.
No, they
Oh. Oh, I misunderstood.
And your parents?
I
are
thought the
still-
other team was my father,
no, he's my brother.
your brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lerla, what about your family? You said you came first. Now, who else came?
Oh, yeah, I came here, 5 years later, and then, not 5 years. Yeah, about 3 years later that I start talking to my dad. My dad he still want to fight for the freedom. I said, Dad, that is not, because you're not going to get it. It's just let the younger generation take care of it. So because of my dad and then my mom can come because they have to come as a family. So, and then my brother show up and and then later that I call my dad and then my dad is still like 2 of them not married. So they consider as a one family. And then I said, I'm going to help you guys out. And I talking to the church and talking to the camp. So we did. My dad agreed to join. So yeah. And
And when, after you first came, I was working, teaching English to your aunt.
yes, 10A, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, you teaching one by one.
yes.
Yeah.
She was having a lot of trouble. with
Yeah,
ESL
my mom
classes.
is Bao Sensei. Do you guys know Bao and Pam? Teach her English one by one for the citizenship test. They just go one by one. So my mom had a hard time memory, but by the time I drove her to Philadelphia to take a test for citizenship, she passed in the first time. Yeah, my mind is the only one that passed in the first time. But she said my mind is slow, but keep walking on it one by one. On the whole way, I just put that CD on the on the car and just keep reading it. So, yeah.
An idea for we Americans who are born here, we should all have to take the citizenship and see how well we would do.
It's available online, like there's versions of it online that you can take like practice tests. And people are often surprised at the amount of like US history that's on it and some of the constitutional information that's there. But yeah, it's a good idea. You can do it. Anyone here can.
Well, and I don't think I was raised on Long Island, so I always felt I had a better education than my kids here in Elizabethtown. We were challenged more with history and maybe it's because of the teacher I had. We were taught cause and effect, so it was not memorizing dates so much, but look how this action caused that. And I just felt I had a better civics than maybe some of the people here in Elizabethtown get.
Maybe different generation. Well,
Too, yes.
Yeah, I don't know, when I went to school, I did think like, America doesn't teach their kid history.
No.
I don't know, you guys, they taught the history back in the day.
Well, yeah.
When I went to Burma, the history is a priority. You have to learn, you have to able to pass the history. If you don't pass the history, you're not going to graduate. So it's always like a subject that you have to, everybody must take. So, and then seem like here is we lost the history. So,
Lerla, what grade, when you started here at E-Town, what grade were you in?
11,
11th grade?
yeah.
And Daniel, what grade did you start?
I started in 8th grade.
8th grade, okay.
11 with no English. Just always they're so quiet in the class. No friend in the cafeteria because I'm afraid of them. They're afraid of me, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, I would ask, what could we do better to help it, to make your life better, or to make someone's life better who's coming from a different, what should we have done that would have made it easier for you?
Personally, for me, or you guys gave us first. And I was young back then, so I don't really. I thought everything you guys were doing was good. That would make it a question.
Yeah.
You were older.
For me is I feel like because when I came is, you came, you have more English, but I have not. For me, it's just, I like to come in church more because younger people might be afraid of us because we are so shy. We are so like afraid to talk to them. They think that, oh, this guy is weird, weirdo and things like that. But you come to the church, you always like older people like talk to you slowly, with that's the greatest thing you guys did. Like welcoming that if you don't know somebody if you know somebody don't know speak English, just like like we came in here. For me, just like I love to come to church when I came here. And because I can talk to the older people slowly, and then they taught me a lot of English that way. And then I have I hang out with pastor friend like that, and yeah, it's just like a welcoming thing. Yeah, that's the best thing. Yeah, church is for me is my English is the best in the church. So, yeah.
I see a couple of hands.
Lerla, I think there's some translating for the school district, is that right?
Yes, I volunteer. They try to pay me too, but just a couple hours. So I do translating for the school district, and I also, when I have time, I do translating for the the courthouse, and when they don't, because it's hard to find a Korean translator. And yeah, sometimes you have to reach them out, and they're too far, they don't have time, they don't clear. But if person to person, I've been one to the, I say that because I've been go to the couple of DUI cases and things like that, but I still learning, what the judge would say. But yeah, and like I said, I do translating for the school. I just volunteer. When they need me, they just text. Yeah, they probably text me a couple of times for translation.
Did you have something?
I just wanted to say, Daniel and Lerla, both, I just want to comment how hard you both have really worked to get where you are. And I know doing that with your brother and your sister-in-law, I mean, they would work long hours, they would get as much overtime as they could. They really put a lot of themselves into it. And now, your brother and your sister-in-law, they've bought a house, they have 2 cars, they have jobs, the kids are in school, doing well. So it's not just us, what we've done for you. You work very hard to get where you're at. I'm so impressed with your inability to speak English and that when you were like 18 years, I mean, that, I don't call the age when you came here, you didn't even speak English. And look how far you've come. So hats off to you for working as hard as you have to be where you are.
I think that even though we're reaching the end, I think it's a great point to end on in the I started here in 2016 too. I just am so thankful for the ways that this congregation has been able to show support, but also thinking of ways that we can continue that support for others. As we think about what it means to be home, I think it's a good thing for all of us to think about what are those things that make what we consider home a home, and how do those things exist or not exist for other people, and just how do we come alongside the journeys and stories. And so thank you, Lerla, thank you, Daniel, for taking the time to share your story with us today. Blessings to you on your journeys in the future. So thank you. If anyone wants to hang around and ask any questions, we'll be here for a couple minutes, but I know Daniel's got something to go today. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?